Hi, I'm an alcoholic and my name is Gina. This is the doctor's opinion part 2. As we can see right now, it sounds like Bill Wilson is telling us 1,000 things, and the truth is he's telling us a few things 1,000 times because we need reinforcement. So we're going to continue reading where we left off. Of course, an alcoholic ought to be freed from his physical craving for liquor, and this often requires a definite hospital procedure before psychological measures can be of maximum benefit. We believe, and so suggested a few years ago, that the action on these chronic alcoholics is a manifestation of an allergy. That the phenomena of craving is limited to this class and never occurs in the average temperate drinker. These allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form. So we're seeing that this book is filled with warnings, instructions, and promises. And this is a clear warning. These allergic types can never safely use alcohol in any form. And the phenomena of craving and the manifestation is just things that have added evidence to this, that our bodies are different, our reactions are different. Doctors don't have the same powers as AAers. And once having formed the habit and found they cannot break it, once having lost their self-confidence, their reliance upon things human, their problems pile up on them and become astonishingly difficult to solve. Frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. That really means frothy is like crying. You know, I can remember my daughter standing at the door saying, "Mommy, please don't go to the liquor store." And I literally would push them aside because I was going and let them know Mommy would be right back. I couldn't stop myself. I had to go. And their crying didn't stop me. It's not that it didn't mean anything to me. I couldn't help myself. So, frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. The message which can interest and hold these alcoholic people must have depth and weight. In nearly all cases, their ideals must be grounded in a power greater than themselves if they are to recreate their lives. It doesn't talk about getting your old life back, because if you're in AA to get your old life back, I promise you that's what you're going to get back, and you'll be back to square one. But recreating your life, how blessed are we to be able to live 2 lifetimes in one? The only trace of my old life, as it stands right now, is my children. People that knew me before would not say anything like the person I used to be. If any feel that as psychiatrists directing a hospital for alcoholics, we appear somewhat sentimental, let them stand with us a while on the firing lines. See the tragedies, the despairing wives, the little children. Let the solving of these problems become part of their daily work, and even of their sleeping moments. And the most cynical will not wonder that we have accepted and encouraged this movement. So doctors had not only accepted this movement, because really they were just as hopeless as we were, helpless really, they encouraged this movement. You know, doctors nowadays will tell you, you should go to AA, you should try AA. We feel, after many years of experience, that we have found nothing which has contributed more to the rehabilitation of these men than the altruistic movement now growing up among them. So we know that altruistic is unselfish. Men and women drink essentially because they like the effect produced by alcohol. The sensation is so elusive that while they admit it's injurious, they cannot, after a time, differentiate the false from the true. To them, their alcoholic life seems the only normal one. They are restless, irritable, and discontent, unless they can again experience the sense of ease and comfort which comes at once by taking a few drinks. Drinks which they see others taking with impunity. And we know impunity means without consequences. After they have succumbed to the desire, and so many do, and the phenomena of craving develops, they pass through the well-known stages of a spree, emerging remorseful and with a firm resolution not to drink again. A resolution is a wish or a desire, not a decision. This is repeated over and over, and unless this person can experience an entire psychic change, there is very little hope of recovery. On the other hand, and strange as this may seem to those who don't understand, once a psychic change has occurred, the very same person who seemed doomed, who had so many problems he despaired of ever solving them, suddenly finds himself easily able to control his desire for alcohol. The only effort necessary being that he's required to follow a few simple rules. So after I quickly diagnosed myself a real alcoholic, I understood that these were not suggestions for me. These are definitely rules. And I can tell you that the psychic change has occurred because, as I explained to you before, people that know me would not say that I'm the same person that I used to be. Men have cried out to me in sincere and despairing appeal, "Doctor, I can't go on like this. I have everything to live for. I must stop, but I cannot." They're looking for a human solution. And throughout this book, over and over again, it pretty much convinced me there is no human solution. Faced with this problem, if a doctor is honest with himself, he must feel his own inadequacy. Although he gives all that is in him, it's often not enough. One feels that something more than human power is needed to produce the essential psychic change. Though the aggregate of recoveries resulting from psychiatric is considerable, we physicians feel we must admit that we have made little impression upon the problem as a whole. Many types do not respond to the ordinary psychological approach. There's that word ordinary again. We need a total psychic change. I do not hold with those who believe that alcoholism is entirely a problem of mental control. I've had many men who had, for example, worked a period of months on some problem or business deal which was to be settled on a certain date favorable to them. They took a drink or so prior to the date, and then the phenomena of craving at once became paramount to all other interests, so that the important appointment was not met. Now, I can tell you, for an example, I was to get custody of my daughter, favorable. I had a court date, and I tried to stay sober. And the night before court, which was to turn out favorable to me, I was going to get custody of my daughter back. I drank the night before. And not with the intention of getting drunk, having one or two to lower my anxiety, but that's not the case. And the book goes on to say these men were not drinking to escape, they were drinking to overcome a craving beyond their mental control. There are many situations which arise out of the phenomena of craving, which caused these men to make this supreme sacrifice rather than to fight. This classification of alcoholics seems most difficult and is outside the scope of this book. There are, of course, the psychopaths, which are emotionally unstable. That's like sociopaths. We are all familiar with this type. They're always going on the wagon for keeps. They're over-remorseful and making many resolutions. There's that wish or desire, but never a decision. We're going to stop right now. We'll go on to part 3 when we continue with the different types. But I think we're running out of time.